Salutations everyone, my name is Silta and welcome to the video. Cancel culture is a horrible thing and today I'll be discussing it. Cancel culture is a term used to describe people boycotting or outright attacking someone in an attempt to sabotage their career and personal lives, via either death threats or exposing secrets or even digging up old tweets from years ago in an attempt to completely sour and ruin that person's reputation and life. This usually stems from a mob mentality of hate. In case you haven't realized, many people in different communities have a mob mentality. A mob mentality, also known as herd mentality, describes how people can be influenced by their peers to adopt certain behaviors on a largely emotional rather than rational basis. Does that sound familiar? It should, because the majority of people don't tend to think for themselves and let the opinions of others dictate how they speak, talk, and react to certain situations. Now, I'm not saying fandoms and communities are toxic mob mentality, cancel culture cesspools, but that's exactly what they are. A multitude of people in various communities will gang up and assemble a bandwagon of haters to try and shut down a singular person for a bad deed they've done. Sometimes it's not even a bad deed, such as drawing a character in a slightly different shade of color. I'm looking at you, Steven Universe fandom. You know what you've done. Now, I don't think there are ways to circumvent these types of situations other than spreading awareness that sending hate and misfortune to others isn't the way to really go about these types of things. Typically, when you hear a rumor, you don't jump to the conclusion that it's true. You tend to look deeper into it and figure out your own opinion, and half the time, it's not even a true rumor. It's just misinformed information being passed around. Some people, however, should probably be stopped before they start a lot of problems for the rest of us. But we should go about this in a mature fashion rather than a primitive one, and threatening violence and damaging other people's relationships for what we see as a good thing or a necessary evil. Take for example Logan Paul. He's not exactly a bad guy per se, but he sure is an irresponsible man with a lot of power and ego and money. Now, he's been manipulating his younger audience for some time now, to the point where younger content creators are beginning to replicate his infamous personality.
3, 2, 1.
Or the situation with little Tay, a young girl who is really being used by her own mother and brother to pose with her clients' and bosses' houses and vehicles since she was a salesperson. At the end of the day, it wasn't exactly a horrifying act of inhumane parenting, but just a cheap way of profiting and lying to millions of people that your little girl was a rich brat. Then again, Tay seems kind of okay, I guess. A very shy and reserved girl from what I've seen outside of her scripted and acted recordings. And then there's this clip of her being bullied by a grown man questioning her about her videos and intimidating her.
You little Tay, right? You in trouble? You little Tay, right? You on the flex? Oh, I want to see you flex one time. I like that fly shit. Alright. She ain't flexing today. She nervous.
You gotta put that shit
on Instagram. She nervous. Talk something. The real nigga pull up. They nervous. Alright.
This is not okay and it never will be okay. That is a child and this is a grown man. The whole video gives me a bad feeling because of how creepy the man is towards Tay. Now, she eventually disappeared from the internet after she released a video on her Instagram of her smoking, which was, wow, just Jesus Christ. You guys remember Jacob Sartorius? That kid was great. I guess what I'm trying to say is that mob mentality and cancel culture can be very damaging to some people. Take for example Hyojin Choi, aka Squizzy. Because of rumors and accusations, a bandwagon of people began hating on her and telling her to end her life, to the point where she disappeared with this on the 21st. I don't know much else other than she was put into a hospital and people still called her fake and said she was trying to get pity out of everyone so they would forget the situation. And by the way, I won't be going over these rumors because as far as I know, all of these are just that, rumors in which people believed and started a hate campaign against her for. At the end of the day, that's all they are. They're just rumors. And unless we have solid visual evidence of these rumors, don't jump to conclusions that it's true, because people will twist and change the things that they hear in an attempt to get people to hate them. Wherever you are, Hyojin, I hope you're alright and doing much better than you were before. And I just wanted to leave you with this. Don't go after someone because other people are. Come to your own conclusions and opinions, and if you think that this person deserves hate, don't bother, because chances are thousands of other people are going to drag that person down to their own personal hell. Whether they deserve it or not is up to you to decide. But don't be that one extra person in the hundreds that there are joining in on hating someone, because the last thing we need in this world is more hate against one another. And as my grandmother always says, jealousy leads to hate, and hate leads to destruction. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I've been Silta, and I'll see y'all next time. Goodbye, everyone.